It is the spooktacular season again, and I am up to here with Halloween decorations, and that's what I want to talk to you about today. So stay with me. Well, hi everyone. This is Crystal from A Crystal Clear Life, where we focus on planning, organizing, and living a more simplified life. And today, what I want to talk to you about is all this mess that I have behind me. We just got back from a short trip to Salem, Massachusetts, hence the new hat. What do you think? What do you think? For my modern witch look. Salem has been a place that we have always wanted to visit, and it was really, really a fun trip. And I was updating some things in my Halloween holiday planner, and that got me to thinking that I should share this information with you. So let's do that. And if that sounds interesting to you, please go ahead and give me a like. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Please share this with any spooktacular friends that you might have. And give me just a second here to get presentable, and we'll get right into the computer and I'll show you what I'm talking about. All right, there we go. Let's see. If you look here on my screen, you will see I went back and added some things to my Halloween planner. Now, last year I did an entire video about how I set up this whole Halloween planner. I will leave it linked up above. So I'm not going to discuss today in any of these videos how I made these pages and, all of that kind of stuff. If you would like to see that, watch the video and then come back to this one. Because I say in that first video that this is a work in progress, and it truly is. It's like a Halloween scrapbook to use year after year after year. And I went in and added a page for our trip to Salem, Massachusetts. So if you look here on my screen, you see I used my events and travel page that I have for Salem, Massachusetts. I went ahead and recorded some pre-planning things in there, links to salem.org, which is a place that they talk about all the cool things that are going on in Salem. I actually have a history link to the Smithsonian Magazine about the Salem witch trials and the information that was collected there. My daughter and I have always been witchy fans, not the scary, spooky, hurtful kinds of things, but just intrigued with the whole idea of magic and, that anything is possible and that kind of thing. In fact, my mother, I think always, I remember her telling me that she thought that she was part witch at some point. So I think that has carried on to my daughter and I, and we just like to have fun with it. As you can see by all the things behind me, after 35 plus years of teaching and celebrating Halloween and all that kind of fun with children, I have collected lots of brooms and cauldrons, and then all of that spilled over to my daughter's love of Shakespeare. So that skull that you see back there not only gets used for every Hamlet production that we've ever done, but also comes out every Halloween. So it's just kind of fun to have these kinds of things and to keep track of them and all of that kind of stuff. So that's what I'm working on today. You see here on our page that I have here, this is the same events and travel page that I've used for other things. It is modified from my teacher field trip page, planning page. And so it just has a place for you to put basic information about the location that you're going to. Here I added the hotel address, the price per person if you were doing, a particular event. And I have a date and itinerary kind of thing. I have notes. Really what we wanted to do is we wanted to go to a lot of the parks that are there. We wanted to go to the museum that is there, the the Salem Witch Trial Museum that is there. We wanted to check out a lot of the shops and see if there were any other cool things to add to our stash. You know, just have fun, do a little role play, and have a good time. So it was really, really a fun trip, okay? So, you know, I added some things like the Witch Memorial. We went and saw pictures of all of the benches that they have for the people who were killed during their witch trials. And that was kind of cool. We went to the museum. There's a statue of Samantha, the witch character from the television show Bewitched that was set in the 1960s. And of course, my daughter's name is Samantha. And so I wanted to make sure that we saw that statue. And I really got a good picture of her next to that statue. We went to the Witch Museum. We walked around all the shops and stayed till the evening to see all the fun activities that were going on. It was really, really, really a lot of fun. So this was one thing that I wanted to put in my Halloween planner, was this trip that we took to Salem, okay? And you see I created it down here at the bottom, but it needs to move up to events and trips. And so I'm just going to grab it right here, click and hold, and move it up to events and trips right there. And now I have the Sandy Spring Adventure Park. That was an outing that my daughter did last year with her dad, and now the Salem trip here. Okay. All right. Now, as you can see, I'm already kind of categorizing these different things in my Halloween planner, which means after a little while, it's probably going to be a whole notebook in and of itself. And that's fine. You know, I like to build it into a section. And then once that section gets large enough, then I will take it out and create a new notebook that I can use from year to year to year. Okay. All right. So that's pretty cool. I really, really love that. Now, when we got back from this trip from Salem, of course, we were all in that spooky mood, right? And we wanted to start decorating. It was the very, very last weekend of end of September, so it was okay to go ahead and start decorating. So we've done a couple of things around the house. I kind of set up I started gathering things, I should say, for a Poe exhibit that I want to show. Here's a couple of the things here that I put there. And Samantha also set up an apothecary stand, or got started on that. So here's another quick picture of that. And we're just having fun with this kind of thing. What I usually do is I put a basic fall level of decor out. Then I add some Halloween things in there that can then be taken away for the month of November. Okay. All right. So I'm playing around today with all of my fall stuff. And I thought to myself, what a great time to go ahead and do an inventory. Okay. Now, again, I did an inventory of all of my Christmas decorations last year when I had them out. I'll leave a video link to that. But what I want to do is I want to kind of create that same inventory for these tubs that I have here. You can't see from here, but all of the tubs are actually labeled. You know, if they have pumpkins in them, or if they have, you know, the skulls and the bats and, you know, all that kind of stuff, they are labeled. And so that part is already done for me. I did that last year. But what I want to do is go through and actually put the contents that are in those tubs into a spreadsheet so that I can see it. Because I came home the other day with 3 more little cauldrons. And my daughter said to me, "Mom, I think we have enough cauldrons, okay?" And I couldn't remember how many small ones we had, but had I had my inventory, I would have known. So that is the catalyst for this. I am going to create an inventory for this information, all right? So why recreate things? I'm just going to go over here to, let's see, what did I call that? Decor inventory, decor storage. Let's see, decor inventory. Let me see if this is the right page. This is my original, and then I added some more. Let's see. Okay, here we go. So the first page that you saw was the decor inventory. It's just a blank page. Then the next time I went through and I created some handwritten, this is what's in this box, this is what's in this box, pages. And then last year, what I actually did is I went in and I set up an Excel spreadsheet so that I could track that information and all of that kind of stuff. Okay, so location, item, color, size, quantity, power type, whether it's battery or electric, notes about that, date that I acquired it, and how much it actually cost. Okay, so I'm not going to copy this whole thing, but what I do want to do is I wanted to show you that it is an Excel spreadsheet, and it's linked right here. And what I've done here is I've then displayed it as a printout, okay? So if I want to go and edit it, all I have to do is click on this button and it will open up Excel for me, and then I can go ahead and modify it, all right? All right, so I'm going to bring up Excel and show you guys. I have my Christmas decor in here that you saw, and the thing that I like about having that is I can sort it all different ways, okay? So I can sort it by what tub things are stored in, or if I'm looking for a particular thing, like bells or ornaments or, whatever, I can sort it that way, just by clicking on this arrow and saying sort a different way or select a different thing. So I like to be able to sort things and to be able to see them. I thought it was such a great idea that when Valentine's Day came around, I started creating another spreadsheet for Valentine's Day. So now that we're here at Halloween, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to add another one. And it's going to be exactly the same. So I'm going to go back here to my Christmas decor, and I want to make a copy of this title row here at the top. And I am going to copy that, and then I'm going to go back over here to this sheet, and I'm going to paste that in. Okay, and let's see, I need to do a little bit of adjustment on this, size-wise and that kind of thing. But you get the general idea. And then I can start typing in things like, what tub it might be located in, what the item is. So I have broomsticks, as you can see behind me. So I can type in broomsticks, and they are natural colored broomsticks, and they are
natural.
3 foot long.
3 feet.
And I have 3 of those. And there are no power needed to those.
And slashing.
And if you can hear the computer talking to me, I have the read back feature set on my Excel spreadsheets because I am somebody who transposes numbers very easily. And when I'm doing my finances and I'm doing things in Excel, I want it to be able to read those numbers back to me to make sure that I've gotten them right. Okay. So you get the idea about this Halloween sheet that I'm creating. I'm going to go down here and rename that. And that's going to be Halloween decor down there. And I can just keep adding as I'm pulling stuff out and putting it up, this week. I can just come over and add things to my spreadsheet as I go. And I think that's really, really great. Okay. Then this file will be saved, and it will go back into that page on my decor. Okay, so let me do that. All right, I'm going to go over here to share, and I'm going to say copy link, and I'm going to do that, and it's creating a link for me. So copy that, and then I'm going to go back into OneNote, and I'm going to go back to my Halloween planner. Which is right here. And if you go all the way back to the very, very top, where I had my bucket list, I have a decorate for Halloween, okay? And this is where I wanted to put my inventory. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a page to this section. So I'm going to go up here to add page. Okay. And I'm going to call this Halloween Decor Inventory. All right. And for now, I am going to paste that link in here. Okay. And it says, let me zoom in so you can see it. It says Decor Storage right there, okay? If I click on that, it will take me right back to this page, okay? All right. I think that's very, very helpful. I think that works really, really well, okay? Now, this page looks nothing like my other fancy pages that I've created. And I want to show you how easy it is to update this page to make it look like the rest of the notebook, okay? So again, if you go back to my bucket list here, you see I have this nice little notebook. Again, I explained how I made that in the first video, okay? But I want one that's empty, I think. So one of these title pages should be empty. There's crafts, food and beverages, party games, nothing in party games, events and trips. Okay, and that's my template for that. Let's go to no, let's do this one. Okay, so I'm gonna right click on this and I'm gonna say move or copy. And it's gonna ask me where I want to move it to. I want it to be in my Halloween planner, which is down here. And in that Halloween planner, it's gonna come up at the bottom. Okay, and so now when I click on it, it will be on this particular page, okay? So I can now change this. Instead of events and travel, I can say Halloween decorations. And I don't need this whole table for an event, so I'm going to get rid of that, but I do want to keep my stickers. I don't think I even need these boxes, which is something that I normally put photographs in, so I'll get rid of those as well. Family time can go away. I'll leave that little pumpkin and see. Okay, now what I want to do is I want to take this, see here where I created this decor page. I'm going to take this and I'm going to cut it and I want to put it on this page here. I'm just going to paste it there, okay? And then when I get a whole printout, or when I get all of my stuff inventoried, I will do a printout on this page of, you know, how many brooms I have and how many little cauldrons I have and all of that thing. So I won't do that over and over again. So I won't rebuy over and over again, okay? All right, so I think that's pretty cool. I can go back to this page. I don't need this page anymore. We're going to get rid of that. We'll delete that. And Halloween decorations, I'm going to move that up to, let's see, where do I want to put that? Let's put it right here. And then I am going to make it not a subpage. I want to leave it where it is, so it's going to have its own little section right there, okay? All right, so Halloween decorations, go through all this stuff, create that Excel spreadsheet, put a printout here, and probably what I'll also do, just like I did at Christmas time, is I will print out that Excel spreadsheet and tape it to the top, the inside top of both of these tubs that I have here, so that I know as I'm cleaning up where to put things back, okay? Rather than having to look it up all the time. So that's kind of a nice thing too, okay? All right, so that takes care of the inventory. I'm not going to sit here and go through all the tubs, you know, while I'm doing this video. I just wanted to give you the idea of what I am working on this week, okay? All right, we have another idea that I need to update, and that is crafts. Now, my daughter and I are both very crafty people, and we've come up with some really fun things to do for this particular Halloween season. We've already done one of them. We actually bought these little kits at Michael's, and they're little I want to say they're not paint by number because there's no numbers on the paintings. They were just blank canvases that had the outline of the thing that you were going to paint on there like that. Okay, so there's a black cat and some witches. And then the other night we sat down Sunday evening and we did ours. So this is my painting. Please don't judge. I am not an artist. I just like to have fun. This is my painting of the witches. And then I'll put this here so you can kind of see. Theirs is much darker than mine. I wanted a little more color and a little more fun in mine. But that was really cool. That was really cool. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a picture of that particular painting, and I want to have a place where I can store crafts. So last year, my little crafty thing that I did were these crocheted pumpkins. Okay. And I learned how to do them and by watching these 2 YouTube videos. Again, I talked about that in last year's video, but I want to do, something for these as well. I want to create like a project page. Okay. I like this page here, but I really like the idea of having a project page here as well. All right. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to duplicate a page, and then I'm going to change the stuff that's on it. So let's go again back to that event page that I had. No, I can do this one. This one works. I can do the books and audio. That's fine. So I'm just going to make a copy of that page, move or copy, and I want it in my Halloween planner. So we'll do it there. And we'll say make a copy of that. And you see it comes in down here at the bottom. All right, so when I click on that again, it's now this page. So this is not going to be spooktacular books anymore. It's going to be craft projects. Okay, and I'll put a dash and put Halloween there. Okay, and we'll get rid of audiobooks and books. Those were just stickers. And then also I don't need this because I want to put something else in here. And this is kind of why I like to do things in containers, because rather than recreate everything on the page every single time, I can just go to another page that I know that I have the containers that I want, and I can grab those and put them in here. It's kind of like plug and play, you know what I mean? Okay, so let's go find what I'm looking for. All right, so a long time ago, I made a project like master page. So let's look for that. Project master. All right, so let's look. Here's one. Yep, this is one that I did. Contact information, what the purpose of the project is, some tasks to do, the expenses, and all that kind of thing. Okay, so that's one. That's the same one. That one's a little bit different. I moved things around in a little bit different place. Let's see. I also did one that was a card project, holiday card project. I think this is it. Okay, so when you look at this one, you see this one is a little bit different. It has all the tasks to do over here for creating a holiday card, but then it also has supplies needed. And I kind of like the supplies needed because, you know, sometimes with things like this, you know, this particular kit was wonderful because it came with like 5 or 6 different tubes of paint, brushes, palette, all that kind of stuff. But I did want to have some additional black paint, you know, for the edges and that kind of thing. So there was times that I needed to have other supplies. So I think I'm actually going to grab this and take this back with me, okay? All right, so one of the ways that I want to do that is I'm going to use my lasso tool, and I'm going to kind of circle all of this like that. And you see it kind of highlights everything. I'm going to say copy. And then we're going to go back to our Halloween page, which is here in 2024, my Halloween planner, and this is the page that I created, okay? Now, I'm going to go right here and see if this is going to move everything around. Let's see. Let's paste and see what happens. Ah, not bad at all. Okay, so now let's clean this up a little bit. We're going to go here. It is not a holiday card project. So I'm going to take out this and just do project title. Can change every time I do one. Okay. And then I'm going to take out all of this information because that's what I want to fill in. Oops. That's what I want to fill in. But I want to leave the space there for that to happen. Okay. And I want to make this a little more colorful like I did with some of the other things. So I'm going to do some table shading here. I'm going to pick this pretty pumpkin color like that to kind of go with the other things that I have going on. And then I'm also going to do that for this. All right. This one over here, I'm going to get moved over a little bit, and I can actually make this bigger. It is actually a graphic, this little section that I have here. So I can do that, and then I can move this expense tracker over here, like so. And since I made that a little bit bigger, I have to make that a little bit bigger for the description. And then let's see, I can take out all of these steps because creating a Christmas card is different than doing this particular art project, okay? And I'll make that bigger so that's like that. I love that you can manipulate all of these, you know, different cells like so, okay? All right, now this dark blue doesn't really go, so I'm going to click on that box. And if I go to pen properties, let's see, I can change that, pen properties, and I can choose it. I could make it orange if I wanted. I could make it black. I could make it purple. Something that I think would look good with what I'm doing. And in this case, actually, I think black probably works best with my washi tape that I have there. I could also make this bigger if I wanted to, just by grabbing it, because this is just a box that I drew. Okay. And the same thing over here, pen properties, make it black, like so. Okay. So I can put a picture of the finished project there if I want. All right. All right, now let's do this last little box here. Supplies needed. And I don't need stamps and things here. Let's get rid of that. I'll just have it there in case I need to add something for each project that I do. Okay? All right, now I'll bold that. Maybe make that a little bit bigger so you can see it. All right, so you guys get the idea, right? So now this is my craft project for Halloween master, all right? And then if I want to, for this particular painting that I just did, all I would need to do is go in here and make a copy of this. I want to keep it in Halloween, so I'm going to say copy. And now there's a second one there. And actually, I'm going to do another one because we have another project to do, which is really cute. Let me show you. I want to make sure that he's looking good. This adorable spider. Now, this is a little known fact about me, but I love, 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 love spiders. I think they are incredible creatures. I love how female spiders take such good care of their babies. I love that they eat a lot of bad bugs in the world. So this year we are going to be making these adorable beaded spiders. Now this is a craft that my daughter came up with, and she made one and brought this home and said, "Mom, do you want one?" And I said, "Of course," because guess where he's going to look awesome? Hanging on my new hat. I just think that's going to be really, really cool. So I think that's this Sunday's activity. I'm excited about that. But I do want to make one of these pages for the spiders. So let's do one more copy. We'll make a copy of that. Move or copy. Where do I want it? I want it in Halloween. Make a copy. And that one is going to be spiders. Beaded spiders. Let's do beaded spiders. Beaded spiders. I can leave projects in there. That's okay. Okay. And then I'll have a list over here where I can type the supplies that I need. So I know that I need wire. I know that I need colorful beads, you know, et cetera, et cetera. And again, take a picture in there. If you have a video link that you want to put in there about how to make them, if you have a project sheet that you want to put in there, a PDF file, something like that, you can put all of that information on this page and it's all in one place. And I absolutely love that. Okay. So I'm going to move that up to crafts. And then I'm also going to move that master that we just created. I'm going to move that up to crafts. And this one that I'm going to leave here, I'm going to leave that one blank. The additional one I'm going to put up here is going to be the paintings. So that will be the paintings, the painting craft for Halloween. And again, we didn't need any other supplies for that except little cups for water. So that was really pretty cool. So I'll just add that there. I needed water cups. Supplies needed. I needed water cups and paper towels and the painting kits, which had everything else in them that I needed. Okay? All right. So a great way to track the Halloween projects that we do year after year. I started with pumpkins, crocheted pumpkins last year, which are really cute. If I find them in the tubs, I'll put a picture in the video before I put the video up. It's so much fun. So many great memories. All right. And then the last page that I wanted to share with you, I don't have little ones around anymore, but you know, when you're doing all the costumes and stuff for them to go trick-or-treating, that's really, really fun. And on this page back here, the dashboard at the very, very beginning, I have dress up for Halloween down here in this corner. I wanted to make a page that you could put Halloween costumes in and the story behind the costumes and that kind of thing. And I started thinking, have I done anything like that in OneNote yet? I did. I started an ornament page in my Christmas planner. So let me quickly show you that one. Okay, so this was my Christmas page, and I thought, you know what? I can use this same kind of idea for the costumes. So again, I'm going to grab my lasso tool and I'm going to start, and I just want these boxes. I don't need the stars and the Christmas ornament at the top. I just need those boxes. And I'm going to say copy. And I'm going to take it back to my Halloween planner here. And let's go down and make I'll grab that books page again, make a copy of that. And my camera is telling me that it's running out of film, so hopefully I'll be able to get this done really quickly. All right, let's do this. I'm going to cut these out. Cut that out and paste. Okay, so now we have all of these little boxes and I want to make them bigger. I want to fill this page. So I'm going to lasso them all again and I'm going to make them bigger. and move them around like so. So that they kind of fill the page. Like that. Okay? Now, same thing that I did before. If I want to change these boxes, I can just go up here and click on pen properties, and I can change the boxes to whatever I want. So, pen properties. And I can make them, if I don't want them green, if I want them black, I can do them black, okay? I have a space here for the picture of the, not ornament, but let's say costume. Okay? The story and the memories behind that costume. Again, I can change the text color if I want. A description of the costume. Maybe not series, but maybe creator. You know, who made the costume? Is it something that you bought in the store or something that you created yourself? That kind of thing. And then up here I have to, from, and the year. I don't think I need to and from, but I certainly do want the year and who it was for. And then we will do the year here. Who the costume was for. You know, so you can put in Sally, Samantha, Bob, whoever, and then what year it was for. And then you have the story behind it, why they wanted to be Superman or Bluey or whomever, a picture of them in their costume, the description of a costume. And I think that's great. I think this is a great way to store that and to have memories of that year after year after year after year, okay? All right, so again, I would go ahead and clean up the rest of this page. But you guys get the idea, right? So today I have talked to you about creating a Halloween inventory for all of your stuff. I have talked to you about creating an events page to record all those fun trips to the pumpkin patch or Salem, Massachusetts, wherever it might be. I talked to you about creating a costume page so that you can record those costumes from year after year. And I also talked to you about doing some wonderful crafts and creating memories with your family and friends. Well, I hope you've enjoyed today's video, and I really love creating these things for you. I hope you get some inspiration from it. If you do, give me a thumbs up. If you have any great ideas for Halloween crafts or great costume ideas, go ahead and leave those in the description for me. I would love to hear about them. Let me know also if you've ever been to Salem and what you thought about it, okay? All right, until next time, before I run out of film, here's hoping that you can live a more simplified and organized life through better planning. I use OneNote. Until next time, okay, bye.